Okay, recording now. So yeah, hi everybody again. The idea is to say what's going on right now, new after the Firebase Summit, which are the highlights that yeah, I'm kind of excited. There are more excitements in a few new things, and other ones are things that people were waiting a lot. So let's start a little bit. My name is Laura Morinigo. I'm a web developer advocate and also Firebase Google developer expert. You can join me on Twitter. My Twitter is this is Lala, okay? Because my friends call me Lala, so you can call me like that also. And yeah, so we have the chance, four of us, to be in the New York City the past, yeah, it's almost a month already after. And the idea was to basically try to yeah, share with everybody which were the news around Firebase. Ranuk, I think you're still sharing your presentation. You can stop sharing. That would be great. So we can see just one.
Has
Yeah,
stopped
just
my yeah, I stopped already the
I think
presentation.
I think I think I can see your screen.
Oh really? Okay. Can
Yeah.
you see? Yeah.
Yeah, right now. All good. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. So let's just start and see which are the type of things that we're going to talk today. The first one, like one of the main reasons why we start using Firebase is because we want to make our development faster. We don't want to spend a lot of time doing things like maybe can be solved easily. And that was also my first approach with Firebase, especially with database and all the stuff. So one of the first news that we have is having faster deployment of modern web apps with Firebase hosting. What does it mean? So Firebase has many different features that you're going to be able to test in different platforms. And one of the things that you have is Firebase hosting. So Firebase hosting, if you were not able to test it before, is a service that lets you build and deploy your website globally, and you're not able to, you don't need like to manage any infrastructure. It has integrated security and also a good streamlined developer experience. And then there is a very exciting update about this. I think to me, it was one of the best ones. Now, Firebase hosting is a little bit um, beyond static websites because now it's going to be able to support dynamic frameworks. So how does it work? In my case, I usually use Firebase hosting a lot. The problem was that every time that I wanted to integrate with, let's say, a server-side client or anything like that, it's a little bit more complicated. You still can do it, but you need some extra steps. And now it's going to be very easy and straightforward. You can deploy all these frameworks with the same single CLI command, and that's it. You know, you do Firebase deploy, and it's going to be available to use Firebase hosting for, in this case, Angular and Next. And they are preparing to also uh, support client-side builds like Vite, React, Lit, and Svelte, which is a very popular framework right now for people that are using JavaScript. I didn't try this yet, but I'm very curious about that. Again, in my experience, I've been using Firebase with Vue.js, and I have to do some tricks to put everything together. But when it starts working, it's very smooth and it works super fine. And I was even to do some server-side render and things like that. So if you try this new type of hosting with client-side frameworks, and I would love to know. So how you can start checking that in after you install your console, you can do Firebase experiments, enable web frameworks. That's it. You can start testing this. Okay, the second, and I think most developers were very excited about this, is reduce time spent managing your database. So, but how? Usually, most of the reasons why people use Firebase is because of Firestore. Before it was real-time database. Now we have Firestore. Firestore is a NoSQL database, which is document-oriented and very simple to use. But developers usually want more and more and more features. And one of the things that these database was missing was count. We didn't have any counts. So we had to make like some tricks again to, if we want to get how many objects do we have in each document to do a simple count. So now we have a primitive count function that Firestore is going to provide. So with the new count function in Firestore, you now can get the count of the matching documents when you run a query or read from a collection. Okay, so that's how it works. You don't actually need to load the actual documents, because before it's like you need to load, put everything, and then do some other tricks to figure out how many, right? So, and then that's it. It saves you a lot of time. Again, we want just features and then new stuff. Cool. So we also have a scalable BAS. So what is that? I would like to know. Um, so if we improve Firestore's capability, right? We have we're going to be able to handle some database writes and connections without hard limits. So which makes very easy now to scale and support your app's growth and through large traffic spikes. Before, it's like you have to check. Let's say that you have a lot of data, right? And suddenly there is a spike of data that you're reading and writing. Before, you have to pay attention to that, and maybe something, can be changed in your web app. Now it's gonna make you possible to scale easier, right? Without having these limits in your database. So the other thing that we have is time to leave TTL. So what is that? Basically, now you can specify a field in your document that determines the lifetime of that document, right? Again, we're talking about Firestore. Firestore is a NoSQL database, which is which is based in documents, right? Before, what happens was like you create a document, a new field, right? And that stays like till you delete it. Like we can even say forever. But sometimes it's very practical for us to actually do something, right? And then say, hey, this is gonna be alive till certain moment, right? So that is TTL. So with now, you can specify the lifetime of the document, and Firestore then deletes each document when it's going to be expired. So you no longer have to spend time managing data and retention policies, and also, and the best part, I think so, is like you can save the storage costs, because if you need to save a lot of information, and then sometimes some of that old information is old, you don't need it anymore, is that is money to you. So now you can have, a timeline where you can actually delete that. So with this, basically, you're gonna spend less time managing data retention policies with this new time to live feature in Firestore, right? And then another thing that I would like to share is some news around Firebase authentication. So continue with multi-factor authentication. And what Renuka was telling us is that currently we can have multi-factor authentication with Firebase. So to help you check your user accounts, even if the password is compromised, multi-factor authentication is enabled. Again, like everything that Renuka has been show us before is because this is now possible, so which is great. And besides that, if you have some experience with Firebase and authentication, you probably use authentication with Facebook, GitHub, or even a phone number. Now we have two other options more, so you can have support to use Slack and Discord also as a way to authenticate your users. So again, which is great because we can have more sign-in methods depending on your web app or your app. In my case, most of the things that I use is Gmail authentication, and then sometimes a phone number. I didn't use it yet. I don't. It's tricky to imagine a stage where I would use Slack or Discord. Let me know if you have any ideas. It's good to have the option though. Right. So there's another thing that I would like to add. There is an update related with security rules in cloud storage. So the idea right now is to support cross-server requests. So you make sure that each user only has access to their own data, and that's it. They are doing a lot of, the Firebase team is doing a lot of work, as you can see, related with security and authentication. So keep in mind that, because at the end of the day, we want all our data safe. Um, this new functionality allows you to build flexible permissions, and you can protect your storage files based on the data that you have in Firestore. Again, if you didn't have the chance to check this, I really recommend that. We have Firebase extensions, which I don't know why people is not talking so much about this. I found it very useful. There is a whole new here. I will share with you. There is a whole new functionality about Firebase extensions where you can integrate your web app with some extension that is going to be useful for you. For example, I think I mentioned this in any other talk. I use a lot. The Stripe extension is amazing. It works very smooth. And the idea is to bring more extensions. So now Firebase is going to have extensions marketplace, where even you're going to be able as a developer to create your own extension, which is awesome. I think Thomas was interested in create your own extension. Let us know how it
Yes.
goes. Yeah, let us know how it goes.
I'm on
I
it.
think.
I'm on it. I will probably have some news for you like in 1 week or two.
Okay, amazing. We would like to know more about it. And the idea is to, of course, bring more extensions, so it's going to be easier for you to yeah, access to certain kind of functionalities. And we have some new extensions recently. There is Voyage extension to provide tech support to customers using video chat. Basically, it's like an assistant to install an extension, and then you can already use that extension in your web app. There is also mainly search and purchase lead, if I'm not wrong. I think those three are the new ones. Yeah, check because they have many extensions, and it's very useful. And uh, last but not least, I will just mention this because I'm not much familiar with Android developments, but I know that for Android developers, these are exciting news. Um, very earlier this year, the Firebase team introduced App Quality Insights, which was having an integration between Crashlytics and Android Studio. I think if I'm not wrong, maybe Adriana was testing this. Maybe I'm just, it sounds very familiar. Somebody was testing this, and then now they they are doing an update related with App Quality Insights. It is basically a beta channel in Android Studio Electric Eel. Again, I'm not that familiar with these integrations because I don't use much Android Studio, but if you are an Android developer, please let us know which are of these type of things are you excited most. And yes, I would like to know which of these new things are more excited to you. To me personally, the chance to have count in Firestore is great. Saves a lot of time. A lot of people were waiting for this. And besides that, of course, the ability to have Firebase hosting for dynamic frameworks is super cool. So I invite you all to test, and yeah, let me know which one was your favorite. Thank you. Okay, we stop
Thank you, Laura. That
recording.
was amazing.
I will
Thank you
stop
so much.
recording.
Thank you. That's a